This is the story of Claire Anderson, a 29-year-old woman who was abandoned by her husband while she was 6 months pregnant. He left her for a younger woman, took half of everything they owned, and drove off into the sunset thinking he'd upgraded his life. 6 months later, he would make one critical mistake. He would splash mud on a stranger from his car while showing off to his new girlfriend. He didn't recognize her. She'd transformed completely, lost 40 pounds, changed her hair, wore designer clothes worth more than his annual salary. But she recognized him immediately, because that woman was Claire, his ex-wife, the one he'd left broke and pregnant. Except now she had something he didn't: unlimited resources, a billionaire husband, and a very long memory. What happened next would teach him a lesson about karma, consequences, and why you should never underestimate the woman you betrayed. If you love stories where the villain gets exactly what they deserve, hit that subscribe button right now, because this revenge is going to be absolutely beautiful. Let's go back to the beginning. Claire met Ryan Anderson in 2018 at a corporate networking event in Chicago. She was a junior accountant at a regional firm, making $48,000 a year. Ryan was a pharmaceutical sales rep, pulling in about $65,000 with commissions. They weren't wealthy, but they were comfortable. Young professional couple in the city, decent apartment in Lincoln Park, dreams of eventually buying a house in the suburbs. Ryan was charming, attentive, romantic. He proposed after 8 months of dating. They married in a small ceremony in 2019. Her family, his family, a few close friends. Nothing extravagant. They couldn't afford extravagant. For the first 2 years, things seemed fine. They both worked long hours. Claire got promoted to senior accountant. Ryan's sales numbers were good. They started talking about starting a family. In January 2023, Claire got pregnant. She was thrilled. Ryan seemed thrilled too, at first. But something shifted around her 4th month of pregnancy. Ryan started working later, going to more client dinners, taking weekend training seminars out of state. He was distant, distracted, barely present even when he was home. Claire attributed it to stress, new baby coming, financial pressure, normal relationship strain. She was wrong. Drop a comment right now if you can already sense where this is going. Let me know if you've ever ignored red flags like Claire did. At 6 months pregnant, Claire's body had changed significantly. She'd gained 35 pounds, most of it baby weight but some from stress eating and exhaustion. She felt swollen, uncomfortable, unattractive. Ryan started making comments. "You're really letting yourself go. Maybe you should watch what you're eating. I miss how you used to look." She tried. She really did. But she was growing a human being. Her body was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. One night in June 2023, Ryan came home late. Again. Claire was on the couch, 8 months pregnant, swollen feet propped up, eating ice cream straight from the container because nothing else sounded good. "We need to talk," Ryan said. Those 4 words. The worst 4 words in any language. "I'm not happy," he continued. "I haven't been happy for a while. This isn't the life I wanted. You're not the person I married." Claire felt her entire world tilt. "I'm pregnant with your child. I know. And I'll support the baby financially. But I can't do this anymore. I want a divorce. Is there someone else?" He hesitated. That hesitation told her everything. "Her name is Tessa. She works at one of the doctor's offices on my route. She's 24. She's ambitious. She takes care of herself. She makes me feel alive again." She's 24. Claire was 28. 4 years wasn't even a significant age gap, but to Ryan, it was enough. She takes care of herself. As if being pregnant was letting yourself go. Claire felt rage and heartbreak collide in her chest. "You're leaving me for a 24-year-old while I'm 8 months pregnant with your baby? I'm sorry. I know the timing isn't ideal." "Isn't ideal? Isn't ideal? But I can't live a lie anymore. I'll move out this weekend. My lawyer will contact yours." He left the apartment that night. Went straight to Tessa's place, Claire would later find out. She sat on that couch, 8 months pregnant, and cried until she had nothing left. If this story is making you angry on Claire's behalf, hit that like button. We're just getting started. Ryan filed for divorce immediately. His lawyer was aggressive, cold, efficient. Illinois is a no-fault divorce state, so Ryan's affair didn't matter legally. They'd split everything 50-50. The apartment they rented didn't matter. Neither owned it. Their savings account, $23,000, split down the middle. Claire got $11,500. 8 months pregnant, about to be a single mother, with $11,500 to her name. Ryan's lawyer argued that since the baby wasn't born yet, child support couldn't be established until after birth. So for now, Claire got nothing for the baby. Ryan moved in with Tessa officially. Posted photos on social media, them at restaurants, them at bars, them on a weekend trip to Wisconsin, living his best life while his pregnant wife was alone. Claire moved back in with her parents in Oak Park, a suburb of Chicago. Her childhood bedroom, now converted to a guest room, became her entire world. Her mother was supportive but worried. Her father was furious. He wanted to confront Ryan, but Claire begged him not to. She just wanted to get through the pregnancy. In August 2023, Claire went into labor. 36 hours of hell, emergency C-section, complications that kept her in the hospital for a week. She texted Ryan when she went into labor, "Baby is coming." His response, 6 hours later, "Keep me posted." She texted him after the birth, "It's a girl, Emma Rose. 7 pounds 3 ounces, we're both okay." His response, "Congratulations." That was it. No visit, no flowers, no phone call. He showed up 2 weeks later to see Emma for the first time. He held her for maybe 10 minutes, took a few photos for his parents, and left. "I'll send child support payments once the court establishes the amount," he said. "Tessa and I are looking at houses. Getting engaged soon probably." He said this while holding his 2-week-old daughter. Claire felt something inside her snap. Not break, snap. Like a bone that would heal stronger. Comment below if you think Claire should have responded or stayed quiet. What would you have done in that moment? Over the next 3 months, Claire lived in survival mode. She was recovering from a traumatic birth, learning to be a mother, dealing with postpartum depression, barely sleeping, living on her parents' charity. Child support was established in October, $850 a month, based on Ryan's salary and Illinois guidelines. $850 a month for food, diapers, clothes, medical expenses, everything Emma needed. Meanwhile, Ryan's social media showed him living large. New car, a BMW 3 Series, fancy dinners, weekend trips with Tessa. In November 2023, he posted photos of an engagement. Tessa's ring was massive, at least 2 carats. The caption, "She said yes. Can't wait to spend forever with my soulmate." Ryan filed for divorce immediately. His lawyer was aggressive, cold, efficient. Illinois is a no-fault divorce state, so Ryan's affair didn't matter legally. They'd split everything 50-50. The apartment they rented didn't matter, neither owned it. Their savings account, $23,000, split down the middle. Claire got $11,500. 8 months pregnant, about to be a single mother, with $11,500 to her name. Ryan's lawyer argued that since the baby wasn't born yet, child support couldn't be established until after birth. So for now, Claire got nothing for the baby. Ryan moved in with Tessa officially. Posted photos on social media, them at restaurants, them at bars, them on a weekend trip to Wisconsin, living his best life while his pregnant wife was alone. Claire moved back in with her parents in Oak Park, a suburb of Chicago. Her childhood bedroom, now converted to a guest room, became her entire world. Her mother was supportive but worried. Her father was furious. He wanted to confront Ryan, but Claire begged him not to. She just wanted to get through the pregnancy. In August 2023, Claire went into labor. 36 hours of hell, emergency C-section, complications that kept her in the hospital for a week. She texted Ryan when she went into labor, "Baby is coming." His response, 6 hours later, "Keep me posted." She texted him after the birth, "It's a girl, Emma Rose. 7 pounds 3 ounces, we're both okay." His response, "Congratulations." That was it. No visit, no flowers, no phone call. He showed up 2 weeks later to see Emma for the first time. He held her for maybe 10 minutes, took a few photos for his parents, and left. "I'll send child support payments once the court establishes the amount," he said. "Tessa and I are looking at houses. Getting engaged soon probably." He said this while holding his 2-week-old daughter. Claire felt something inside her snap. Not break, snap. Like a bone that would heal stronger. Comment below if you think Claire should have responded or stayed quiet. What would you have done in that moment? Over the next 3 months, Claire lived in survival mode. She was recovering from a traumatic birth, learning to be a mother, dealing with postpartum depression, barely sleeping, living on her parents' charity. Child support was established in October, $850 a month, based on Ryan's salary and Illinois guidelines. $850 a month for food, diapers, clothes, medical expenses, everything Emma needed. His soulmate. While his 3-month-old daughter existed in Oak Park with barely enough support to survive, Claire's mother found her crying in the nursery that night. "He's already moved on," Claire sobbed. "He has a new life, a new fiancé, everything. And I have nothing." "You have Emma," her mother said quietly. "I love Emma more than life itself. But Mom, I'm 28 years old, living in my childhood bedroom, broke, abandoned, with a body I don't recognize and a life that fell apart. How do I come back from this?" Her mother hugged her. "I don't know, sweetheart. But you will. You're stronger than you think." Claire didn't believe her, but she was about to find out just how strong she actually was. December 2023. Claire's college roommate, Madison, called her. "Claire, I'm in Chicago for the holidays. Please tell me you'll have coffee with me. I know things have been hard, but I miss you." Claire hesitated. She hadn't seen Madison in over a year. She'd isolated herself during the pregnancy and after the divorce. She was embarrassed, ashamed, didn't want people to see how far she'd fallen. "I look terrible," Claire said. "I'm still carrying baby weight. I haven't had time for myself." "I don't care what you look like. I care about you. Please. One coffee." They met at a Starbucks in downtown Chicago. Claire showed up in yoga pants, an oversized sweatshirt, hair in a messy bun. She felt like a disaster. Madison showed up looking like she'd stepped off a runway. Designer coat, perfect hair, expensive handbag. But when she saw Claire, she didn't judge. She hugged her tight and said, "I've missed you so much." They talked for 2 hours. Claire told her everything. The affair, the divorce, the abandonment, Ryan's engagement, the struggle of being a single mother. Madison listened without interruption. When Claire finished, Madison said, "I want you to meet someone." "Madison, I'm not ready to date. I can barely function as a human. Not romantically. I want you to meet my boss. His name is James Hawthorne." Claire blinked. "The James Hawthorne? Hawthorne Industries James Hawthorne?" Hawthorne Industries was one of the largest private equity firms in the country. James Hawthorne was worth an estimated $3.2 billion. He was in Forbes, Fortune, The Wall Street Journal. Meanwhile, Ryan's social media showed him living large. New car. A BMW 3 Series. Fancy dinners. Weekend trips with Tessa. In November 2023, he posted photos of an engagement. Tessa's ring was massive, at least 2 carats. The caption, "She said yes. Can't wait to spend forever with my soulmate. Yes, I'm his executive assistant. He's looking for a new financial controller for his personal estate management. Someone he can trust, someone brilliant with numbers, someone detail-oriented." "Claire, that's you. I'm a senior accountant at a small firm. You graduated top of your class. You have your CPA. You're one of the smartest people I know. You just need a chance." Claire wanted to say no. She was too tired, too broken, too overwhelmed. But then she thought about Emma, about $850 a month in child support, about living in her parents' house forever. "Okay," she said quietly. "I'll meet him." 3 days later, Claire sat in James Hawthorne's private office on the 60th floor of a downtown Chicago skyscraper. She'd borrowed a suit from Madison. She'd done her hair and makeup as best she could. She felt like an imposter. James Hawthorne walked in. He was 38 years old, tall, fit, with dark hair going gray at the temples. He wore a suit that probably cost $10,000. He had the kind of presence that filled a room. "Claire, thank you for coming," he said, shaking her hand. "Madison speaks very highly of you." They talked for an hour. He asked about her experience, her education, her approach to financial management. Then he said something unexpected. "Madison told me about your situation. Your divorce, your daughter. I want you to know that won't be held against you. In fact, I respect that you're here at all. Most people would have given up." Claire felt tears prick her eyes. She blinked them back. "I need someone I can trust," James continued. "Someone who understands that wealth comes with enormous responsibility. Someone who won't be corrupted by it." "Madison thinks you're that person." "Why would she think that?" Claire asked. "Because you've lost everything and you're still fighting. That tells me everything I need to know about your character." He offered her the job. $180,000 a year. Full benefits. Private office. Company car. Flexible schedule for Emma. Claire's current salary was $52,000. She accepted before she could talk herself out of it. If you think Claire's luck is about to change, drop a fire emoji in the comments right now. Claire started working for James Hawthorne in January 2024. The first month was overwhelming. She was managing finances for multiple properties, investment portfolios, philanthropic foundations, art collections. The numbers were astronomical. But she was good at it. Really good. James noticed. "You're the best financial mind I've worked with in years," he told her in February. "I'm giving you a raise and a promotion. You're now my chief financial officer for personal holdings. $250,000 a year." Claire could afford her own apartment. A nice one. In Lincoln Park, ironically, the same neighborhood she'd lived in with Ryan. She hired a nanny for Emma, a wonderful woman named Rosa who became like family. With reliable childcare and financial stability, Claire started taking care of herself again. She joined a gym, started working out. Not to impress anyone, just to feel strong again. She saw a therapist, worked through the trauma of the abandonment, the divorce, the postpartum depression. She bought new clothes. Not because her old clothes didn't fit, because she wanted to feel like herself again. By April 2024, Claire had lost 40 pounds. Her body was different than before the pregnancy. Stronger, actually. She felt powerful. She changed her hair, cut it shorter, added highlights, got her confidence back. And somewhere along the way, something unexpected happened. James Hawthorne started noticing her as more than just an employee. It started small. Compliments on her work that lingered a bit too long. Conversations that drifted from business to personal. Coffee meetings that turned into lunch meetings. In May, he asked her to dinner. Not a work dinner, he clarified. A real dinner. If you're interested. Claire panicked. James, I work for you. And I have a baby. And I'm divorced and damaged and... You're brilliant, beautiful, and the strongest person I've ever met, he interrupted. I understand if you're not ready. But I had to ask. She thought about it for exactly 3 seconds. Yes, she said. I'd like that. They started dating quietly, privately. Neither wanted it public until they were sure. But by July 2024, they were sure. James proposed in August, not with a flashy public proposal, with a quiet moment in his penthouse, holding Emma, asking Claire if she'd let him be part of their family. She said yes. They got married in September 2024. Small ceremony, immediate family only. Claire wore a simple, elegant dress. Emma was the flower girl. James legally adopted Emma, changed her last name to Hawthorne, set up a trust fund that would make her a millionaire at 18. And Claire? She became Claire Hawthorne, wife of a billionaire, stepmother to his wealth, mother to Emma. She'd gone from broke single mother to married to one of the richest men in America in 9 months. And Ryan Anderson had absolutely no idea. Make sure you're subscribed because the next part is where everything comes together in the most satisfying way possible. October 2024. A random Tuesday afternoon. Claire was walking down Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago. Designer clothes, perfect hair, expensive heels. She just left a meeting with James's lawyers about some estate planning. It had rained that morning. The streets were wet, puddles everywhere. She was waiting to cross at a crosswalk when she heard it. A car engine revving. A black BMW 3 Series came speeding around the corner. The driver deliberately swerved toward a puddle near the curb. The wave of muddy water hit Claire full force, drenched, head to toe. Her $2,000 coat, her $800 shoes, her perfect hair, ruined. The BMW slowed down. Through the window, she heard laughter. A male voice. Did you see her face? A female voice. Oh my God. Ryan, you're terrible. Ryan. Claire looked up. Froze. It was him. Ryan Anderson. In his BMW. With Tessa in the passenger seat. They were laughing. They thought it was hilarious. And they had no idea who they'd just splashed. Ryan had never seen Claire like this. He'd left her when she was 8 months pregnant, swollen and exhausted. He'd seen her once after Emma's birth, still recovering, still heavy. He'd never seen her transformed. Confident, beautiful, powerful. They drove away, still laughing. Claire stood there, dripping with mud, and smiled, because Ryan Anderson had just made a fatal mistake. She pulled out her phone, called James. Darling, are you all right? He answered. I'm perfect, she said. But I need a favor. Comment revenge if you know exactly what's about to happen and you're here for it. That night, Claire told James everything. About Ryan. About the abandonment. About the $850 a month in child support while Ryan bought BMWs and engagement rings. About the mud splash. He didn't recognize you, James said slowly. No. He has no idea who I am now. He still thinks I'm the broke, overweight single mother he left behind. James was quiet for a long moment. Then he smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Tell me everything about him, James said. Where he works, what he does, who he works for. Claire told him. Ryan worked for MedPharm Solutions, a mid-sized pharmaceutical sales company. Regional sales manager. Made about $85,000 a year with commissions. James made a phone call. Within 48 hours, he had a complete dossier on Ryan Anderson. Employment history, financial records, credit report, tax returns, everything. Turns out Ryan wasn't as successful as his social media suggested. He was in debt, serious debt. The BMW? Leased, and he was 2 payments behind. The engagement ring? Financed at 24% April. The fancy dinners and weekend trips? Credit cards maxed out. He was living a lifestyle he couldn't afford to impress a 25-year-old who didn't know any better. He's broke, James said, reading the report. He's drowning. And he's about to drown faster. What are you going to do? Claire asked. I'm not going to do anything, James said. You are. He explained the plan. James's investment firm had recently acquired a controlling stake in MedCorp Industries, a massive pharmaceutical conglomerate. MedCorp was in the process of acquiring and consolidating smaller pharmaceutical companies, including MedPharm Solutions, Ryan's employer. The acquisition would be finalized in 6 weeks. After that, Hawthorne Industries would control Ryan's company, which meant Claire, as James's wife and CFO of his personal holdings, would have significant input on restructuring decisions, including layoffs. You could fire him, James said simply. That feels too easy, Claire said. Then what do you want? Claire thought about it. About the mud splash. About the abandonment. About Emma growing up knowing her father chose a BMW over her. "I want him to know," she said. "I want him to see exactly what he threw away. I want him to understand that the woman he splashed with mud was me. And I want him to feel what I felt when he left me with nothing." James smiled. "Then that's what we'll do." 6 weeks later, November 2024, MedCorp Industries officially acquired Med Farm Solutions. The announcement went out to all employees. There would be a restructuring, new management, performance reviews. Ryan was nervous. His sales numbers had been slipping. He was distracted, stressed about money, fighting with Tessa about the bills piling up. The announcement came. All regional managers were required to attend a meeting at the downtown Chicago office of Hawthorne Industries. Ryan showed up in his best suit, along with 15 other regional managers from Med Farm Solutions. They were led into a massive conference room on the 60th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. At the head of the table, James Hawthorne himself, and next to him, Claire. Ryan didn't recognize her. Not at first. She was in a tailored power suit, hair perfect, makeup flawless, confidence radiating from every pore. James began the meeting. "Thank you all for coming. As you know, Hawthorne Industries has acquired Med Farm Solutions. We're implementing a new management structure. I want to introduce you to our CFO, who will be overseeing the financial integration of this acquisition." He gestured to Claire. "This is Claire Hawthorne, my wife, and the person who will be making final decisions on personnel retention." Ryan's face went white. He recognized her. Claire smiled. It was the same smile she'd had standing on Michigan Avenue, covered in mud. "Hello, Ryan," she said. The room was silent. "For those who don't know," Claire continued, "Ryan and I have a history. He's the father of my daughter, Emma. He left me when I was 8 months pregnant. He pays $850 a month in child support, the bare minimum required by law." The other managers shifted uncomfortably. "Ryan has been flagged in our preliminary review," Claire said, pulling up a file. "His sales numbers are down 23% over the last 6 months. His expense reports show excessive spending. And there have been complaints about his professionalism." This wasn't entirely true. Claire had made sure it was true. She'd buried him in paperwork, flagged every questionable expense, highlighted every missed target. "Ryan Anderson," she said, her voice cold. "You're terminated. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out. You'll receive 2 weeks severance, the minimum required by law. Just like the child support you pay for your daughter." Ryan stood up. "You can't do this. This is personal." "It's business," Claire said. "You're underperforming. You're in debt. And you're a liability. The decision is final." "Claire, please." "Mrs. Hawthorne," she corrected. "And no. You made your choice when you left me. When you abandoned Emma. When you splashed mud on me 6 weeks ago and laughed about it." His face went pale. "That was you?" "Yes, that was me. The woman you thought was too fat, too boring, too unworthy of your time. I'm now worth more than you'll make in 10 lifetimes. And you? You're unemployed." Security appeared at the door. "Oh, and Ryan?" Claire added. "I'll be filing for an increase in child support now that I have access to your full financial records. Turns out you've been underreporting your income. The court is going to love that." Ryan was escorted out. The other managers sat in stunned silence. James took over the meeting, discussing the transition plans for everyone else. After the meeting, James found Claire in his office. "How do you feel?" he asked. "Lighter," she said. "I finally got to say everything I never got to say." He deserved worse. Maybe. But this was enough. If you think Claire handled this perfectly, hit that like button right now. If you think she went too far, comment too much. I want to know where you all stand. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. Ryan tried to fight the termination, claimed it was retaliation, discrimination, personal vendetta. Hawthorne Industries lawyers buried him. They had documentation of every performance issue, every policy violation, every reason to terminate him that had nothing to do with his personal history with Claire. He lost, unemployed, broke, and now facing increased child support payments based on his actual earnings. Ryan's life collapsed. Tessa left him 3 weeks later. Turned out she wasn't interested in a struggling unemployed man in debt. She wanted the lifestyle Ryan had been faking. Ryan moved into a studio apartment in a bad part of town. His BMW was repossessed. His credit cards were maxed and unpaid. He posted on Facebook, "Going through a rough patch. If anyone knows of job opportunities, please reach out." Nobody responded. Meanwhile, Claire's life was flourishing. She and James bought a house in Lake Forest, a massive estate with a private beach on Lake Michigan. Emma had her own playroom bigger than the apartment Claire had lived in with Ryan. Claire started a foundation for single mothers, providing financial support, childcare assistance, job training. She wanted to help women who were where she'd been. She ran into Ryan's mother at a coffee shop one day. The woman looked devastated. "Claire, I'm so sorry for what Ryan did to you," she said. I raised him better than that. I'm ashamed of him. Thank you, Claire said. How is he? Not good. He's struggling. Lost his job. Tessa left him. He's barely making rent. I think he finally realizes what he lost. And what did he lose? Claire asked. Everything. You. Emma. The life he could have had. He threw it all away for a fantasy that wasn't real. Claire felt a small amount of pity. Small. Tell him Emma asks about him sometimes, Claire said. If he wants to be in her life, really be in her life, not just send checks, he can reach out. But he needs to be consistent. He needs to be a father. I'll tell him. She never heard from Ryan. 6 months later, in May 2025, Claire got a message from Madison. You need to see this. It was a screenshot from Tessa's Instagram. She was engaged. To a doctor. Caption. Finally found a real man who knows how to treat me right. The ring was bigger than the one Ryan had given her. Claire laughed. What's funny? James asked. Karma, Claire said. Tessa found her next victim. Ryan got exactly what he deserves. Do you ever regret it? James asked. What you did? Claire thought about it. Really thought about it. No, she said finally. He didn't just leave me. He left his daughter. He chose to splash mud on a stranger for fun. He showed me exactly who he was. I just made sure there were consequences. You're not the vindictive type, James observed. I'm not, Claire agreed. But I'm also not a doormat. There's a difference between forgiveness and letting people walk all over you. She looked at Emma, now almost 2 years old, playing with blocks in her playroom. She's going to grow up knowing her worth, Claire said. She's going to know that people's actions have consequences. And she's going to know that her mother didn't let the man who abandoned them get away with it. James pulled her close. You're an amazing mother. And an amazing woman. I'm a woman who got lucky, Claire said. And who took that luck and turned it into justice. Today, Claire Hawthorne is living her best life. She runs a successful foundation that's helped over 500 single mothers get back on their feet. Emma is thriving, happy, healthy, surrounded by love and opportunity. James and Claire are still madly in love. They just celebrated their first wedding anniversary with a trip to Italy. And Ryan? Last Claire heard, he was working at a call center, making $35,000 a year, living in a one-bedroom apartment, single. He sends child support, the increased amount the court ordered, $1,800 a month. It deposits automatically. He's never missed a payment because the court garnishes his wages. He's never asked to see Emma. Some people say Claire was cruel, that she destroyed a man's life out of revenge. But here's the thing. Claire didn't destroy Ryan's life. Ryan destroyed his own life. He made the choice to cheat. He made the choice to abandon his pregnant wife. He made the choice to pay minimum child support while living large. He made the choice to splash mud on a stranger for fun. All Claire did was make sure he faced the consequences of those choices. Sometimes people confuse consequences with cruelty. They're not the same thing. Ryan could have been a good father. He could have paid fair child support. He could have treated his ex-wife with respect. He could have been a decent human being. He chose not to. And Claire chose not to let him get away with it. If you made it to the end of this story, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to Claire's journey from abandoned pregnant wife to powerful woman who refused to be a victim. Do me 3 favors. Subscribe to this channel for more stories of justice and revenge. Hit that like button if you think Claire did the right thing. And comment below, was Claire justified, or did she go too far? Also, drop your own revenge stories in the comments. I read every single one. My name is Claire Hawthorne. I survived betrayal, poverty, and abandonment. And I came back stronger than anyone, especially my ex-husband, could have ever imagined. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next story.